Welcome to the AFCEA Leadership Forum 5-question series. I'm Max Kakis, Defense Editor of Signal Magazine. Our guest today is Air Force Lieutenant General Ronnie Hawkins, Director of the Defense Information Systems Agency, DISA, at Fort Meade, Maryland. Prior to his current assignment, General Hawkins served as Deputy C4 with the Joint Staff at the Pentagon. He's had a long and distinguished career with the U.S. Air Force. A graduate of Angelo State University, he holds advanced degrees from Abilene Christian University and the National Defense University. Among his military recognitions, General Hawkins has been awarded the Bronze Star, the Legion of Merit, and the Defense Superior Service Medal. General Hawkins, welcome to AFCEA. Thank you for joining us today.
Max, it's my pleasure.
Now, General, you head up the top agency overseeing computing and IT resources for the Pentagon. The agency you run supports everyone from the warfighter all the way up to the commander-in-chief. That covers a wide range of people. Looking back on your career, what would you say are the characteristics in an individual that mark a person as a potential leader?
Well, probably the best characteristic that I would label right now is to be able to be flexible, as well as innovative. And when I say innovative, I mean from the perspective of making sure that you're always learning. Continuous learning is important. It is one of the trademarks of the leaders that I have watched, if I would say go up the ladder, and it's also one of the trademarks of successful leaders that I have read about. They are very learned, and they learn continuously.
Now, you say that a good trait is to be flexible, be able to learn continuously.
Sure.
What kind of skills do you associate with that particular characteristic?
Well, the first one that I would tell you is the ability to read and read in depth. It is something that, again, as you watch, as I've looked at different leaders, they have a very, very strong reading library, and they also pass it around. When I start talking about flexibility, again, from a leadership perspective, I also would say that it's about learning different areas, not just being tied to your particular profession. Those types of leaders are also looking and reading other books and learning about other things that are going on within the world around them.
So being aware and being able to understand what it is you're seeing.
Not just aware and understand, but also be able to talk about it and talk about it with a variety of audiences, not just in the communications and IT audience. We've got to be able to reach out, especially in the global society that we're in right now.
Sure.
You got to know more about than just your own personal profession.
Interesting. Now, in the IT world, we talk a lot about metrics.
Sure.
And in terms of measuring your leadership style, in terms of whether it's working, whether something is not working, what are the indicators? What are the metrics for you when your leadership style is clicking?
Well, the best metric is you're getting the continuous feedback from the people that work with you, as well as the people that work for you. And 360 feedback is vitally important, and that is the one metric that I continue to reach out and try to gain good information about, fresh information about. And it's not just the 360 feedback on an annual basis. It's a continuous process, just like the reading is a continuous process.
Right. One of the things we talk about, again, in IT and in a lot of circles for what we do these days, is fail early.
Yes.
Try something, and then if it doesn't work, you move on. What would you consider your greatest failure, and what was it you learned out of that?
Well, the greatest failure that I had nothing to do with IT. It had everything to do with personal traits or personality traits of me working with another fellow officer and publicly proving that officer wrong. And the failure came, and that officer became my boss. And the goodness of that was that I'm still here to talk about that. And she did not hold that against me. But that was a big failure in trying to always be right. And you've got to realize some of the time you've got to be able to give in order to move ahead as well.
Wow. Who do you consider a personal hero? Who do you look up to? Who do you see as a role model?
Well, that is an interesting question. My personal hero is my father. He's a retired Chief Master Sergeant. He came up through the ranks during the desegregation of the Air Force back in the 50s, early 50s. and to watch what he did with his talents, as well as to display those for others to see. During the time that we didn't have the equality across the promotion system, and for him to retire as a Chief Master Sergeant, he is my hero, and has always been that. And I would also add, he's been a hero for my sons who are also in the Air Force. They look up to their grandfather for what he's been able to accomplish.
Well, he must be very proud to have a general as a son.
Well, I'm still his son, and that's how he sees it there. And he calls me by my nickname, and it's not by general, that's for sure.
Well, and he's also retired, too.
And he's also retired, and he's a chief, so you listen to them.
Very good. General, on that note, we want to thank you for your insight and for sharing your thoughts about leadership with us today. We appreciate your support, and we want to wish you luck with your future endeavors. Our guest has been Air Force General Ronnie Hawkins, the Director of DISA. I'm Max Kakis. You've been watching the AFCEA Leadership Forum 5-Question Series. Thanks for joining us.